Hey guys, happy Friday. So I'm supposed to be at work right now, but I am not. I called in sick this morning. I'm not feeling sick right now, but I was at the time. But by the time I started feeling better, I'd already got my shift covered, and I still needed to make this video, and also I didn't feel like it, so I was just like, I'm just not gonna go. Maybe I'm a bad person. I don't know. Anyway, so what I wanted to talk about today is the audiobook I'm listening to. It's called The New Jim Crow: Mass Incarceration in the United States. And it's very depressing. Obviously, it's about mass incarceration, but specifically how it perpetuates racial inequality, and how it's caused by racial inequality, pretty much. It talks about like racial profiling and the war on drugs and all of that, but like what struck me the most about it is hearing about all of the barriers for ex-convicts once they get out of prison. Like the fact that the legal system charges you for like every step in the legal process. Like you gotta pay a public defender application fee, and you gotta pay a fee for the meeting they hold where they determine how much bail to set. You gotta pay like a probation fee once you get out of up to like $50 per month. Which like that's a significant amount of money for me, and I'm reasonably well off. So yeah, and then like if you had to pay child support, you're liable to pay all of the child support that you missed while you were in prison. And so because of this, like, you can have up to like 5 different government departments charging you fees at the exact same time, and they can garnish fully 100% of your wages, because like I think 65% of your paycheck can go to child support, and another 35 can go to fees and stuff. So like it can end up being your entire paycheck to go to fees and child support. And that's assuming like you're able to get a job, because we know that like felons have a hard time finding work, because it's not illegal to discriminate against ex-convicts. And also we know that like black people have a hard time finding work, just because of racism. Like they did that study where they sent out all those applications, and the only thing that was different in the applications was that some of them had like black sounding names. In those applications, the people got 50% fewer callbacks. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, if you can't pay those fees, if you can't find work and pay those fees, you may have your license revoked, or you can go back to prison. And if you have your license revoked, like, then if you had a job, like, you can violate your probation by driving with a suspended license and risk going back to prison, or you can lose your job and not be able to pay the fees and risk going back to prison. Like, basically, like all roads lead back to prison is what I'm saying. So like, it astonishes me that not that the recidivism rate's so high, which people somehow seem to be surprised about, but the fact that it's not 100%, because the system seems so stacked against people who go to prison that, like, I don't understand how anybody is able to get out of the traps that are set. It's really, I feel like it harkens back to the days, like, after emancipation, where they had pretty much debtor's prisons where you could arrest black men for very, very minor infractions and slap heavy fines on them, and then when they couldn't pay, you forced them into indentured servitude, which is just slavery, or like vagrancy laws, where it was illegal for black people to be unemployed. Like, I feel like it's almost the same, like, it's just manifestations of the exact same thing. But, like, the modern version, I don't know if that makes it better. I don't know. Yeah. So, this is a very hard problem to solve, just the whole criminal justice system. Partly because ex-convicts also are not allowed to vote, or if they can vote, there's so much red tape where they effectively can't vote. It ends up being the modern equivalent of like literacy tests and poll taxes, where you have to like pay fees for applications to register to vote. Like there's just a lot more bureaucracy involved if you're a felon and you're trying to register to vote. So that's a huge chunk of the population who probably have similar interests when it comes to reforming the criminal justice system. They're just not allowed to vote. And then also, it's difficult because like just the taboo against felons. You have these whole communities where much of the people are incarcerated or know somebody who are incarcerated, but they're ashamed to talk about it with one another just because of the taboo. So like even though there's several families that they know who are going through the same thing, they don't discuss it, and so they're just isolated, and they're not able to create a movement to incite any sort of change. So yeah. Hopefully, like, I'm nearing the end of the book, so hopefully she's going to start talking about some solutions, because I want to believe that something can be done. Because right now it seems really insurmountable, just all of the obstacles that face felons, and all of the, there's just a lot of stuff going on. It's, actually, that's one of the things that's most astounding to me, is that how stacked against poor people and black people it is, that like it almost seems like it'd have to be intelligent design, like as if after Jim Crow was repealed, a bunch of white men gathered in a room and were like, so how can we keep black people down now? Like it's hard to believe that it's not just blatant racism, because it's so perfectly stacked in such a way that black people continue to be disenfranchised. And that actually really reminds me of the beauty myth, because that was sort of a similar thing, is that like society finds a way to maintain the status quo and keep disempowered people disempowered, not necessarily by like the will of the people. Like it's not, I don't think it's like a blatant thing that like, oh, we need to keep women down, we need to keep black people down. It just like happens, and I don't understand how that works. I don't know. It's weird. So this is very depressing so far. I highly recommend. Sorry that I couldn't talk about anything less bleak this week. Hopefully Tyson will lighten it up tomorrow. I think that there's nothing else, so I'm gonna stop. See you guys Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Bye!